Okay, let me start with myself. My name is Kritapat. I'm a sponsored student by Bangkok Bank. Okay. I went to Sloan in 2001 and graduated in 2003. So after I came back, I work. Right now, I work with the president of the bank, mostly in corporate planning and investments. Okay. So let. Thank you.
Hi. Hi, I'm Jonah Tetrapible. I went to Sloan in 2008. Prior to Sloan, I was working at BTAC, and prior to that, I was working in the U.S. At Credit Suisse. And after Sloan, I'm now with McKinsey & Co., it's a consulting firm.
Hi, I'm Perry Rangsimanont. I'm a class of 2008. Prior to Sloan, I used to work in an asset management company in Thailand called Thomson Capital. And after Sloan, I used to work for Government Investment Corporation of Singapore, which is the Singapore Sovereign Wealth Fund. And now I'm working for a family business.
My name is Patiwat Panurad. Before Sloan, I worked with the Boston Consulting Group. I returned there after Sloan, and I am now in the process of setting up my own specialized consultancy here in Bangkok.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Before I open the floor for questions and answers, there are questions that were emailed to me. Two interesting questions that I will ask you, and then you can talk about that. The first question is, can you tell us about the best experience that you had at Sloan, as well as your worst experience at Sloan? What were they? Why? The second question is, if there was only one subject that you can study at Sloan, what would it be and why? Why don't we start off from the right this time, and Pisung, Kun Patiwat can start it off for us. First question, the best and the worst experience at Sloan, please.
The best experience at Sloan was taking part in several startup teams when I was at the Institute. In a variety of classes and on my own initiative, I took part in a startup that dealt with Parkinson's disease management, on traumatic brain injury diagnosis, on stroke diagnosis, and some other stuff as well. These experiences were so fun because I was working very, very closely, not only with other Sloanies, but with other people from other faculties within MIT, the engineering faculties, the science faculties, as well as with external parties, researchers from other universities, physicians from Massachusetts General Hospital, a variety of people. And there's something that you can learn a bit about entrepreneurship by studying entrepreneurship classes, but when you're actually involved in a startup team, it's all different. What you learn gets multiplied by tenfold when you take part in those types of experiences. It was really fun. The worst experience I had at MIT was September 11, 2001. This was about a week or so after classes began. It happened in the middle of an economics class, I remember. I came down and they turned the big TV down in the lobby. And it was a great shock for everybody, obviously, but a lot of the new friends that I made when I was at the Institute helped me and helped each other come to terms with this horrible, with what happened, both on that day and in the months and the years that followed, when the war in the Middle East began and all that.
Thank you. Let's do the first question first, and then we'll go left to right one more time.
Okay, so the best experience for me at Sloan is actually hanging out with a lot of friends. I think it's one of the best 2 years of my life. I really had a lot of fun. And Sloan is all about, it's not just about studying, but it's also about traveling, having fun with friends. I can count I traveled for more than 10 countries during the 2 years I was there. And then in every week we have a get together at night on Wednesday, we party on Thursday, and then I think actually I think we balance it quite well between studying and learning. And I think you are not going to MBA just for study, but you want to build your network. And I think it's not just traveling or hanging out with the people in Sloan, but you hang out with the people at HBS, people at other schools at Sloan, at MIT, or other school at Harvard or Tufts, wherever, and then I think you can build a lot of network, and then the best experience is probably hanging out with these people. And I'm still keeping in touch with a lot of my core team and my friends there. And as for the worst experience, it's probably studying itself. It's really rigorous. I'm sure you can be sure that there may be many nights that you might not be able to sleep because you cannot cram in the work on time. But probably that's the bad thing. But then you're going there.
So you're traveling, man.
Yeah, well then it's the best 2 years of my life, I think.
Can you give us the examples of the countries you visited during the time and what the activities were?
So actually I joined on first a G-Lab, which is a global lab. I was working with a company in Brazil, and during the time I was traveling around South America, including many parts in Brazil and Argentina. I joined a trek, Israel trek, and then during the time they took me to Egypt, Jordan, Israel, and then China trek, which includes China and Hong Kong, and countries like Singapore and some other stuff.
I would add something. These countries, it's very hard for you to go by yourself. So utilize the time that you have there, Sloan, and your friends in your class, that they can accommodate and take care of you while you were there.
Yeah, actually, if you want to go to Israel yourself, it might be hard, but we got to meet with the presidents of the country, we got to meet with the high officials of the countries, and I think it's really hard for you to go by yourself to really understand the country, have some high-level officials talk to you, talk to businessmen of the country, and this is like a unique opportunity that Sloan offers you.
And the Prime Minister of Israel is also an alumni from MIT.
Yes.
Well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so when I got first off the question of your best experience at Sloan, I'm at loss because I really enjoyed my 2 years there, and I'm actually kind of envious that you guys get to go there and apply and go there and spend 2 years there yourself, because I'd love to go back again. So picking from the really good experiences, I think the one that I remember most is a case competition. So we picked our own team, and we were thrown in a room for 48 hours to figure out how to crack this case. And we actually went to final rounds in New York on the case competition, but the process itself was the fun part. You get to talk to your classmates and throw around ideas and brainstorm and think about how is the best way to solve this problem. And that was really rewarding for me. And my worst experience at Sloan would probably be the fact that my boyfriend wasn't there for my second year.
Can you identify who your boyfriend is right now? There he is. He's a good friend of mine. We work at PCE together. Now you're the star, man.
Okay, seriously, my worst experience was actually the snow. It was really bad.
I have to second that. It's a long-term relationship. My girlfriend is back there too. So we have to be apart a lot of times. Okay, the last person on the first question, please.